What's up, you guys? Bella Rose from TechCity back again, and it is time for another gadget review. So in my last video, I talked about the Samsung Galaxy S21 Plus, and I could not wait to lay my hands on the S21 Ultra, which is now, oh, there it is in my hand. So the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra has been touted to have the best camera on any smartphone the world over. And I thought to myself, you know what? How about I do a major expose, sort of like a full-length review on just the camera. And FYI, the video you saw at the start of this video was all shot handheld on the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra. So I will let you be the judge. I'll share pictures, videos, and all other information with you. Don't forget to please subscribe while you watch. Thanks. So I'll go straight for what I have said I will focus on in this video, which is of course the Ultra camera. And I'll start first with the front-facing camera. It is a 40 megapixels selfie camera. And I know that there have been debates in the past about how, well, 40 megapixels does not really mean anything. But what's interesting is there are major improvements on the S21 Ultra camera, such that the FS 2.2 aperture that the front-facing camera comes with performs a lot better. Now, these are some of the pictures that I took with the S21 Ultra camera. Look at the contrast, y'all. Check out the saturation. Take a good look at the details, even when I sometimes try to pull the camera, well, not pull, when I try to move the camera closer to my face, the details are still there. Also looks like the pictures we're taking with all them professional cameras, you know, DSLRs. But it's just your phone. Now, there's also the portrait mode on the S21 Ultra, which I think is really brilliant. There were pictures that I took on the S21 Plus that when I took on the S21 Ultra using the portrait mode came out looking so much better. The subjects of the pictures were just clearer, they were more vivid, there was more depth of field as well, such that whatever I was blurring in the background actually was blurred out, and it was not unrealistic. And of course, there's also the feature of you choosing how much blur you want in the background, which is pretty cool. And the night mode is actually a feature I'm loving to use these days. So the night mode feature comes in very, very handy when I'm taking pictures when it's dark and I don't want to use flash. You can also change the aspect ratios on the selfie camera on the S21 Ultra. Now here we see that you can change it from 3x4, which is the 40 megapixels resolution, and this will give you full effects of using a 40 megapixels resolution camera that gives you an image size of 7296 by 5472. And that's large, and that's why there's a lot of space on this device, which I'm coming to in a bit. Let us now go on and talk about recording video using the 40 megapixels front-facing camera on the S21 Ultra. It is so cool. You're recording as many as 60 frames per second with the front-facing camera. Now, this is very interesting for me particularly because I love to do videos. I love to do video content. And FYI, I have my own personal YouTube channel, which I'm going to link below. Thank you, admin. And I use my Note 20 for that. And sometimes, because of the feel or the texture of the video, I love or prefer to use the front-facing camera. Now, the front-facing camera on the S21 Ultra just absolutely annihilates whatever it was that the Note 20 thought it had. The front-facing camera on the S21 Ultra is super, super good. Now, with the background effects on the S21 Ultra, there's some manipulation that you could do on the S21 Ultra, such that you can change a lot of things from pictures that you have taken, or in fact, before you take those pictures, like so. Would you look at that? It's incredible. Before I go on to the back-facing camera, which is you know, stuff for legends, I would just like to rate the front-facing camera, and I think I'm going to give it a 9 over 10. I want to keep one mark to myself, so please bear with me. Let us now go to the very much talked about back-facing camera on the S21 Ultra. So the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra has got 4 cameras right behind. 1, 2, 3, 4. And all these 4 cameras have their specific functions on the device for video quality and picture quality as well. So unlike some other devices that we know that have 4 cameras behind just because they want to have 4 cameras behind because it looks good, these ones actually have functions, and I'll just tell you what they are. So this one, first off, is a 12 megapixels wide angle lens, while this is the 108 megapixels wide angle lens with OIS, that's the optical image stabilization feature, and it also comes with a 1x3.3 sensor as well. This is a 10 megapixels telephoto lens, and this is 10 megapixels telephoto as well. There's a flash just up here which you may need. I find that very interestingly, and I think that's got to do with the aperture and just how much light these lenses let in. I don't necessarily love to use the flash on my camera except like where absolutely necessary. So you see 4 cameras here, but there's just one thing that makes you think, Bella, what's that 5th thing? It's not the flash you talked about. So this right here is not an extra camera, it's not a bonus camera. This is the laser autofocus. It's a sensor. So what it does is it enhances the autofocus when you are taking pictures at close range, and it also helps with the quality of your picture when you are in a place that's dimly lit or where there's not enough, enough lights. Basically making your focus faster and more accurate. So that's what the laser autofocus does. That's why it's here. Now, still on the camera, right? Across every Samsung device, or at least the very new generation ones, we don't talk about them enough, it's the Pro mode on the video recording feature of the camera. I don't think we celebrate it enough. So the Pro mode feature on the S21 Ultra is super, super cool. It makes you use the device the way you want to use it. So in the event that you want to record a video, for instance, and you have like specifications, you know how much light you want, you know how much exposure you want, you know how much color saturation you want on your videos, you are able to just tweak all of those settings when you are using Pro mode. Let's not also forget that on the Pro mode feature of the camera, you are able to adjust what the sound setting is also like. That is the coolest thing. So if somebody is standing in front of the camera, you can adjust the Omni microphone feature to pick audio from wherever your subject is standing, whether in front or behind the camera. Or in the event that maybe you want to record, say you want to record a podcast, for instance, and you want the voices of all the people who are on set to be on the video, you can also do that. So it picks sound from every corner. And if you don't use Pro mode, you will not know these things. You will not know these things. Knowledge, they say, is power. So still talking about the Pro mode on the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra camera, beyond recording videos with the Pro video feature, you can also take still pictures with the Pro camera. Yes. While the pictures may be a bit heavier than your normal selfie and back-facing camera pictures, what it actually does for you, especially if you are a professional photographer or whatever else, you will have a lot more data to edit your pictures on your PC. Let us now take you through some of the pictures that some team members who went outside of Lagos were able to capture on the S21 Ultra. Oh, you guys, look at this picture. So this one was shot using the portrait mode. It is beautiful. Check out the saturation, you guys. Take a look at the brightness and the contrast. I like the fact that it's got as much detail as possible, and I love bright colors these days. Yellow. So when I see vibrant colors and how they appear on camera, it just makes me love them a whole lot more, and it gives me happy vibes. This other one was taken using the wide angle lens on the back facing camera on the S21 Ultra, and look at how much detail this one has. So the portrait mode on the back facing camera is it's so beautiful, so beautiful. It looks like it was a micro lens that was used, like a professional macro lens that you have to go and save up hundreds of thousands of naira for. But you don't need all of that if you're using the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra. I'm just saying. Also, looking at the 10 times and the 100 times zoom, on the S21 Plus, it is 30 times zoom. This one is 100 times. Yo, that was why I said, regardless of where you're standing, the amount of detail and just how much the device is still able to capture is mind-blowing stuff. Golden buzzer moment, duh. I absolutely love it. How it is that you stay on the same spot and you're able to take a picture that has that much depth or that is just looking so far, and then using the 100 times zoom and still being able to capture your subject really, really accurately. It beats me. It does beat me. I'm impressed. Now, the back-facing camera on the S21 Ultra helps you shoot video with as much as 60 frames per second. Now, but if you're going to use 8K, if you're going to record video on 8K, you can only capture as much as 24 frames per second. So note that. The S21 Ultra back-facing camera also has a video stabilization feature, which actually helps for your videos to be stable, even if you're using your hand to record this video. You know what I mean? You don't have a DJI, you don't have a tripod or anything like that. It helps to stabilize whatever it is that you're capturing, such that it doesn't look shaky or like found footage, which is good sometimes. And this also works for that, using that cinematic bounce. But of course, if you are going for something that's more stable, it also helps out with that. I stan a camera that can do both. Now, the S21 Ultra also has the director's view, which I personally love because you're able to switch between lenses and between footages as well, depending on what you want. And the transition is so smooth and so seamless. I absolutely love it. And I think this works for creatives out there just like me. Overall, the Ultra camera on the S21 Ultra is excellent. It's brilliant. So you're thinking, Abella, but who will be using all these features on these smartphones? People who are photography, videography enthusiasts, if you are into documentary as well, this will come in very, very handy. If you're a stylist, maybe you're into fashion, maybe you're into food as well, you want to capture those things more vividly, you want to have your colors all out there, or maybe you are a budding filmmaker, for instance, and you don't have money to buy all the gear. Truth is, we are going in the direction of less is more. The S21 Ultra works with the S Pen. Give me a second, let me just get that. The S Pen works on it, but you have to turn it on the phone, such that when you use an S Pen, it can actually pick that function. The battery on the S21 Ultra is 5,000 milliampere hour, and that is great. I would honestly say that it can be your creative device. It can be your creative office for like taking pictures, recording, doing all of those things, and that's just all it does for you. It works very, very well for that. And the battery also would stay for a very long time. It lasts for about a day without needing to recharge. So the S21 Ultra is recommended to sell at 690,000 Naira. That's the recommended retail price. In my unreserved opinion, which you often obviously don't ask, but love to hear, I prefer the S21 Ultra and all its features, right? But I wish that it was not as weighty as it is. It's not the heaviest, but if you're going to compare it to the S21 Plus, for instance, the S21 Plus weighs a bit less compared to the S21 Ultra. That for me is the only thing about, there's no word for it, just thing about the S21 Ultra. It's just the weight of it. I will definitely highly recommend the S21 Ultra. So yeah, that is all I have time for today. Make sure that you like this video and share with your fellow rich friends. You know, when we go out, we're not clinking glasses anymore. We're like, ching ching. You know what I mean? Okay, that's all I have time for. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Valerie from TechCity signing out. Bye.